discounting heavy losses.
Again, we are glad that you are watching. Well, let's begin. Taxpayers are confronted with a fresh wave of controversy, this time over 42 million shillings allocated for insurance during the Chan tournament vanished into thin air. Questions are now swirling over the funds intended for insurance cover, with claims that the money may have disappeared without delivering its intended purpose. And as the echoes of the tournament continue to fade, a cloud of unease is settling in, with more questions than answers emerging in its wake. And as Davis Mberia reports, the Football Kenya Federation, led by its president Hussein Mohammed, and 2024 Chan Local Organizing Committee chaired by Nicholas Musonye, are now on the spot.
Kenya gets their competition underway in the Total Energies African Nations Championship.
9 months after the rescheduled 2024 African Nation Championship lit up the region, co-hosted by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania, a storm is brewing with fresh allegations that taxpayers may have lost 42.4 million shillings through a questionable insurance arrangement linked to the tournament. KTN has established funds intended to secure essential insurance cover may have been misdirected, potentially landing in private hands, and Kenya may have hosted the tournament without valid insurance cover. Documents before the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission paint a troubling picture. They alleged that on August 4th, 2025, 42.4 million shillings was processed through EcoBank on behalf of the Football Kenya Federation, directed to Riskwell Insurance Brokers Limited. The funds were allegedly moved to an account at First Community Bank Limited with account number 0018946902. The timeline raises even more troubling questions. Riskwell Insurance Brokers Limited was incorporated on June 25th, 2025, yet just weeks later, on August 4th, 2025, it is alleged to have received payment of 42 million shillings. Records indicate the company was never licensed to operate as an insurance broker in Kenya. Under the Insurance Act, engaging in insurance broking without a license is a criminal offense. Apart from that, making payments to an entity that is unlicensed may also amount to aiding or facilitating that breach. Responding to the public inquiry about Riskwell Insurance Brokers Limited, the Insurance Regulatory Authority, through its Deputy Director for Licensing and Enforcement, Wilson Washira, stated that Riskwell Insurance Brokers Limited was not licensed for the year 2025 and in fact had also lacked valid authorization in the preceding years. A copy of the CAF host agreement for Chan obtained by KTN sheds more light on the obligation placed upon participating associations. Under Clause 15 of the agreement, it states that each association shall at its own cost secure a minimum economized general civil liability insurance of $30 million. Beyond this requirement, the document further advises the association to carefully evaluate its insurance needs with a qualified insurer broker. The clause now raises fresh questions. Did Riskwell Insurance Brokers Limited operate without a valid license? Did an unlicensed broker with no regulatory secure a valid 30 million policy with a recognized insurer as a required under the agreement? And if not, who authorized the release of 42 million shillings in public and tournament funds for a service that never have been delivered? Documents by KTN add another layer to the unending questions. In correspondence dated July 17, 2025, then FKF Chief Executive Officer Harold Ndege outlined the quotations had been obtained from 3 established insurers: Takaful Insurance, Old Mutual and Britam, According to the documents, Britam offered the lowest bid of 29.1 million shillings, significantly lower than 42.47 million shillings paid by Riskwell Insurance Brokers Limited. There is no documented explanation for abandoning the competitive process in favor of the higher-priced and licensed intermediary. According to the records, Riskwell Insurance Brokers Limited has 3 directors: Abdullahi Muhammad Sheikh, Muhammad Yaro Ibrahim, and Nyairo Tom Nyairo. When contacted for comment on the allegations, FKF President Hussein Mohammed did not respond on our phone calls or messages. This as the Chan local organizing chairman Nicholas Musonye told us he was in Uganda and he will address the matter upon his return. The development comes when Kenya is preparing to co-host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, with Nicholas Musonye and Hussein Mohammed appointed in the local organizing committee as the chairman and deputy respectively, tasked with steering one of Africa's biggest sporting events. Davis Mberia, KTN.